starting rotations and lineups are falling into place all around baseball, often overlooked is the very important construction of the bullpen. Middle relief and back-end bullpen pieces are extremely valuable. And the battle for the Phillies bullpen slots is still going on, with 8 days of auditions remaining. After a game under the lights last night, the bright afternoon Florida sunshine is back in control, and all eyes are on the spring training finish line. But a handful of games still remain, and roster spots are still up for grabs. Today, it's the Tigers and Phillies at Bright House Field. And it has been a productive spring for the Phils as we look where they stack up in the Grapefruit League. Toronto and Washington with 15 wins apiece, they sit on top. But the two teams we'll see today, the Phillies and the Tigers, are not far behind. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Phillies Baseball alongside Matt Stairs. I'm Greg Murphy. Yes, 8 games still remain, 5 down here in Florida, then 3 back up in Philadelphia before the season gets underway. And still, Matt, many decisions need to be made, and a lot of those decisions will be in the bullpen.
Well, and what a great problem to have. I mean, you have a lot of guys in the bullpen putting up very good numbers this spring training, going out and doing the job, throwing strikes when they needed to. You see right here the graphic. ERA 4.01, first in the National League. Number that jumps out to me is 140 punch-outs so far in spring training. Going out, that know they're getting ahead on strikes, but they're put away the slider, the fastball, putting the hitters away. Daniel Hinojosa has been unbelievable this spring training. I think he's a front runner for maybe being the closer this year. His stuff is electric. His fastball, tremendous off speed. David Hernandez, we saw him last night. I was very excited to see his velocity up to 95, 96, being able to throw over the breaking ball for strikes as well. Andrew Billy came into spring training. Wasn't sure what you're going to get out of him. Very good fastball this spring training. What I like about it, he's been really working on his off-speed pitches. His curveball's been his out pitch. He throws a cutter as well. And James Russell, who will start the game today, is a guy who's battling under the bullpen, has a very good curveball, very good slider, keeps the hitters off balance. He does a nice job throwing first pitch strikes, and keeps the hitters off balance the whole time.
And Matt Klentak told us yesterday, yes, a lot of decisions have to be made, but they still have some time, and they're going to take every moment of that time to make the right decisions. Well, on the flip side, the Detroit Tigers hoping to have a bounce-back season, and a lot of that will depend on Justin Verlander, who's going to get the start today. He has been one of the best in baseball over his career. There you see the numbers. They speak for themselves. A 6-time All-Star, a Cy Young Award winner, and an AL MVP. He has been terrific, and he's a guy, Matt, that you know very well when you're playing days in Detroit.
Well, and he's a guy that just absolutely loves going on the mound every 5th day. He's a gamer. He goes out there and he pounds the strike zone. Now, that being said, he's not the Justin Verlander a few years ago where he used to be able to throw 100 miles an hour, 101. But he still has that tremendous changeup. He has one of the best curveballs I've seen in baseball in a long time. And when you throw the upper 90s, have a curveball, and have a very good changeup, that's the reason why he has great numbers.
Well, we'll see him today, and we're also going to get a chance to see a lot of those guys in the bullpen for the Phillies. As you mentioned, James Russell will get the start for the Phils. We saw him a little bit last night. We'll see him again today. And Justin Verlander will take the ball for the Detroit Tigers. Well, lots of long balls for the Phillies so far this spring, 32 in all. Maikel Franco has 8 of those, and Peter Bourjos joined the party last night as well. Maybe we'll see a couple of more today. Lineups and first pitch when we come back. Phillies baseball is left center field as folks start to find their seats and get ready for some Grapefruit League action. The Phillies and the Tigers here on a Saturday afternoon in Clearwater. And today's starting lineup is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. And Winton Bernard will lead off and play center field for the Tigers, followed by Jose Iglesias. Justin Upton will bat third and play left field. Tyler Collins, Jared Saltalamacchia do it catching today. Nick Castellanos will play third base, he'll bat sixth. John Mayberry Jr. in the lineup, batting seventh and playing first, followed by Mike Aviles and the pitcher, Justin Verlander for the Detroit Tigers. And they will start off facing Phillies pitcher James Russell, the left-handed pitcher for the Phils, 6'4", 205 pounds. Saw a little bit of him last night, and he was impressive. And we thought we'd see him again today, and he's going to get the start, Matt.
Well, we saw him last night. He did a nice job throwing the off-speed pitches early in the count and getting ahead. And one thing about him with the scouting report is that he'll top out at 92. He lives right around 90 miles an hour. Three-pitch pitcher, making a sixth career start. Interested to see how he does today because there's 8 right-handed hitters in the lineup, and the righters are hitting 275 over his career against them.
And we talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast. There are a lot of bullpen jobs to be won, jobs around the entire roster really to be run. Certainly James is part of that as the first pitch is swung on and lofted into right field. Cedric Hunter is there, and that's the first out of the inning. So 1 pitch and 1 out for James Russell. That's the way he wants to start.
Well, you got to love that. An aggressive leadoff hitter, getting a fastball, hitting off the end of the bat, weak fly ball to right field.
He'll take it. Jose Iglesias is next up for the Tigers, batting .410 this spring is Iglesias. On the shortstop this afternoon. The first pitch over for a strike. Iglesias batted .300 for the Tigers, 2 home runs, 23 RBIs last season. On the inside corner for a strike, so quickly ahead of Iglesias, 0-2.
Anything he does offensively is a bonus because you will not see very many shortstops that have better hands than he does.
And he swings on that one, and it's a fly ball again out to right field. Cedric Hunter, 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring up Justin Upton. The Tigers uniform, spent last season with San Diego. Batting .189 on the season. No home runs for Upton so far. First pitch over for a strike. It's 0-1. So pounding the strike zone early is James Russell. 5 pitches for Russell, 5 strikes, 2 outs. And it's just inside for a ball. It's 1-1. Russell, a former 14th round pick by the Cubs, played with the Cubs in Atlanta, been in their systems. That one is jacked. I said no home runs, but you can change that because Justin Upton, his first home run of the spring, as that one is way out in left field. He turned on that James Russell pitch, and the Detroit Tigers have a 1-0 lead. Guess I shouldn't have mentioned that, huh, Matt?
You have to mention it, Murph, because it was on the TV.
That's right.
You can see camera set up away right over the middle of the plate, and that short, strong swing, head down. It's a powerful swing right there. That's why they signed him to the big bucks.
Well, that'll bring up the right fielder Tyler Collins. First pitch fouled off. It's 0-1 to Collins.
Man, what a great day to hit.
I think you say that every day. I'm fairly certain. The 0-1 pitch. Nice. Breaking balls over for a strike. It's 0-2. So this will be a bullpen game for the Phillies. We're going to see a lot of different guys that are competing for some spots out there in the bullpen. And big swing and a miss. So James Russell gets a strikeout. And that's the first of the game for Russell. He does allow a run on the solo home run by Justin Upton. So we're through 1/2 inning, and the Phils trail it by 1. Phil skipper Pete Mackanin looking on. A big day for him yesterday. We talked a lot about it on the broadcast last night as he signed a new 2-year contract with the Phillies. He'll be here through the year 2017, perhaps beyond. And here is his starting lineup today. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Freddie Galvis will lead it off, play shortstop, followed by Andres Blanco and Odubel Herrera. Ryan Howard is in the cleanup hole today, batting fourth. Cameron Rupp will do the catching. Cedric Hunter, we've seen already out there in right field, followed by Tyler Goodell. Ryan Jackson gets the duties down at third base. And James Russell, who started the game, most likely will not have an at-bat today. And they will face Justin Verlander, one of the greats that during his career, certainly we showed you the numbers at the start of the telecast, and they speak for themselves. He has been absolutely fantastic over the course of his career, and looking to have a bounce back year this year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see his velocity this year. I know his last year, little injuries, and his velocity dropped a little bit. But you take a look at the scouting report. Love saying these numbers. 94 to 101. 4-pitch pitcher, 893 career winning percentage. In his career, righties are hitting 247, and the lefties are hitting lower at a 231 pace.
Well, it's had a very good spring so far for the Tigers. Part of the reason they have 14 wins so far. First pitch from Verlander to Freddie Galvis is on the outside corner for a strike. You see Freddie's numbers. He had a base hit last night.
Pinch hit knock.
This is the corner. It's 0-2.
Corner of the batter's box.
I was going to say, you think there was a little outside? Quickly ahead of Freddie Galvis, 0-2. Now it's high and inside. Freddie has to get out of the way. It's 1-2 now to Freddie Galvis. Freddie a year ago, 263, 7 home runs, 50 RBIs. As you see Phil Cuzzi behind the plate today. Eric Cooper will be down there at first. Martin Foster at second. Vic Carapaza over there at third. 1-2 pitch. Fights it off and it's foul. Do it again.
Now, when we talk about old school players, Verlander's an old school player. He came in 0-2 fastball up and in. He doubled up again in fastball inside. A lot of guys will throw up and in and automatically go away with the pitch. He is not afraid to pitch inside to righties and lefties. And if it hits, he really doesn't care.
1-2 pitch. A little bit high for a ball. It's 2-2. He's a bulldog that way, and it's been very effective for him. You would think that others would follow suit. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Upstairs, it's 3-2.
Took me a few years to figure his pitching pattern, and this is when he had the great Pudge Rodriguez catching behind home plate. They got into a pattern quite a bit when they were pitching.
Foul straight back, right over our heads.
A lot of it had to do with when you're facing left-handed hitters. Pudge was a guy that really loved the fastball away, so he'd set up away with Verlander, and if he threw a ball, he'd always back it up with a changeup. So we got in a rhythm of a fastball away for a ball, came back with a changeup. Then all of a sudden, if you got the 2-0, he'd like to throw the fastball inside as well.
Another foul ball. How did you fare against Mr. Verlander? Do you remember?
I think early in my career I struggled, and then I think after I figured him out a little bit, I didn't face him a lot. I had a little bit of success, but I think anytime you can get a hit off him, you're a happy camper throwing at 101 with a swing and miss changeup.
I would think so. 3-2 pitch, popped up, right side. Going over for it is Collins, and he makes the catch. That was a sky-high pop-up. And that's the first out of the inning. It's a warm day here in Clearwater. We creep towards late spring, the summer, 84 degrees, partly cloudy. A very light breeze blowing from right field to left field. See some blue skies over there to our right. Well, Andres Blanco will step in. Second baseman today. Started the game at shortstop last night, and first pitch swinging. Ground ball to shortstop. Iglesias is up with it. It's 2 outs. So that'll bring up Odubel Herrera, and we saw Odubel back in the lineup last night. He struggled a bit, looked a little bit like his timing was off, a little bit rusty. Hasn't had a chance to play as much because of the finger injury that he was dealing with.
And he even said that his finger felt pretty good, but he said, "I'll be honest with you," and he said it through an interpreter, "My timing wasn't very good." And for a guy last night with Estrada who throws a very good changeup, it'd be nice to see a lot of fastballs today.
Playing in just his 9th game, he takes that pitch over for a strike. Most of these guys, most of the starters at this point, 15, 16 games, game action down here, but because of the injury, he's a little bit behind, but he's got 8 more, and I would imagine we'll see him in most of the games as we finish up here in Florida and then back in Philadelphia. Takes that one outside for a ball. All right, the numbers are in, Matt. 2 for 6 versus Justin Verlander. That's
had a career.
That's 333. That's pretty good. 1 strikeout, I'm told. 1-1 pitch. Popped up. Shallow right center field. Second baseman Aviles goes out for it. He calls everybody off and he makes the catch. So 3 up and 3 down for Justin Verlander in the first inning here. Through 1. The turn. Philadelphia, because there was big doings happening in Philly as the Phillies 5K run happened this morning, and there you see a terrific turnout for the event, and there is your eventual winner. Congratulations. I think it was just over 16 minutes when the first runner came across. There's our first female winner as well, a fanatic cheering them on. Always great. It was a chilly morning, I would imagine, because it's only 53 degrees there now. So congrats to all the folks that started that race and finished it. 3.2 miles, all for Phillies charities. So congratulations to everyone involved. And like I said, it looked like a pretty good turnout.
Tremendous turnout.
So Jenmar Gomez, well, James Russell, we hardly knew you. So faced 4 batters, and his day is done. And Jenmar Gomez is the new pitcher for the Phils. Also saw Gomez last night. As we started to say at the end of the top of the first, it's going to be a bullpen game for the Phillies. We're going to see 7 or 8 different pitchers for the Phils work this game. So good chance for folks to learn the names of the guys that are fighting for the bullpen spots today. As Jared Saltalamacchia steps in. 292 this spring. 2 home runs for the catcher. That one's outside for a ball. And it's 2-0 to Jared Saltalamacchia.
Saw this last night with Gomez having a hard time throwing fastballs away to left-handers. See if he can lock that in today.
And he gets that one on the ground. The shift was on, and the throw goes wide, so that is going to be an error on the third baseman who was over there. Nope, no, that's on Andres Blanco, who's out there in shallow right field. So safe at first is Saltalamacchia.
Lots of time. He just, bottom line, he airmailed it.
So E4 is the call, and Saltalamacchia is safe down there at first.
Sometimes I wonder, with the shift going on, then all of a sudden it's a weak ground ball, and the guy gets out of the batter's box. When you have the shift on, what's it tell you? One, he's a pull hitter. Two, he's a slow runner. Saltalamacchia got out of the batter's box a little quick and kind of caught Blanco off guard a little bit. Kind of rushed his throw.
So Gomez will now work on Nick Castellanos, third baseman for Detroit, the runner on. See if he can work around the mistake by Andres Blanco. That one is swung on and hit well. Right field, going back on it is Hunter at the track, and he's going to have room. Pulls that one in, and that is the first out of the inning. Sounded pretty good off the bat, but Hunter has some room, and that's the first out. Don't forget, Monday, April 11th, 3:05, it's Nemours opening day, and free to all fans. A Phillies commemorative opening day cap. The little logo on the side is a traditional red cap for the fans coming into the ballpark that day. Padres will be in town. You can order your tickets now at Phillies.com. So one out. John Mayberry Jr. will step in. Of course, Mayberry was at the Mets a year ago. Spent a couple of seasons in Phillies uniform. Now, first pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. Mayberry batting just .132 for the Tigers this spring. He does have a home run. I think it was a walk-off home run, if I'm not mistaken. One's in the dirt. It's 1-1.
In my opinion, I think Mayberry should be hitting balls farther than a lot of people. He just has tremendous power.
Well, we saw that.
He's never put it together. He's had some opportunities. Phillies gave him an opportunity.
Absolutely. Had a .245 in his time with the Phillies. 46 home runs he had with the Phils. 148 RBIs. One's over for a strike. It's 1-2. But you're right, never really consistently put it together. Ultimately was moved along. Saltalamacchia leads off first. He was safe on an error. Count is 1-2 to Mayberry. And that's a ground ball, and it's foul. But, Matt, I think your point is a good one. He's a guy that other organizations look at and say, wow, if it clicks for him, he could really be a productive player.
Absolutely.
And I guess it could at some point. That one's in the dirt, so it's 2-2. Nice stop by Cameron Rupp.
Right, and you're hoping that it happens sooner or later because he is 32 now.
Right. It's going to have to happen pretty soon.
This year.
Yeah. Well, the Tigers are hopeful. And there are a couple guys down there on that Tigers bench, the Tigers coaching staff, that know a thing or two about John Mayberry, Wally Joyner, and Rich Doobie, part of the coaching staff for the Tigers. Mick Billmeyer.
Good job.
Speaking of Wally Joyner, he was one of the hardest guys to play defense against because he used from line to line, gap to gap. You had no idea where to set up.
Yeah.
You pitch him a certain way, you play your shift a certain way, and he hits it the opposite direction.
That one's in the dirt, and that one skips away from Rupp, so Saltalamacchia is going to move up to second base. And all of a sudden, with one out, runner in scoring position for the Tigers. The count is full to John Mayberry Jr. Here you see the part of the Tigers brain trust. Brad Osmus is there. There's Rich Doobie over there on the left. A lot of former Phillies is part of this organization now, the Tigers. Well, count is full to John Mayberry Jr. 1 out. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Ground ball towards third. Jackson has it. Across the first, and the runner stays put, and that's the second out of the inning. So 5-3 goes to put out, and 2 outs now with a runner on second. And that'll bring up Mike Aviles, the second baseman for the Tigers.
It's a good pitch by Gomez. Nice to see him get back into that rhythm of throwing strikes inside the right-handers. The weak ground ball Saltalamacchia hit the second base was a nice two-seamer low and away. That's what we talk about spring training with, is you keep on working on things until things lock in. Last night he had problems with it. Today he's been hitting that corner nicely.
First pitch to Aviles is over for a strike.
Verlander's having some fun in the on-deck circle with Brad Osmus. Asking if he can swing, and he says he promises he'll stop his swing halfway through. The swing and bunt.
0-1 pitch. A little bit low for a ball, 1-1. You see the conversation being had between the skipper and his ace.
With a brand new bat, no pine tar or anything.
It's because he hasn't swung it yet.
Look at him, he's practicing bunting with 2 outs. I love it.
They just would like him to stand up there like a statue. 1-1 pitch, ground ball, left side. And that on it is Galvis, and that is the third out of the inning. So Genmar Gomez able to work around a no-out error that put a base runner on, but he was stranded down there at second base. And we are through 1.5 here at Bright House Field. The Tigers, they have a 1-0 lead. Fly, because it's been a year since Breakfast on Broad debuted back on April 6th. And the Breakfast on Broad crew celebrating as they should. A terrific year for them. She's celebrating as well. A terrific day in Clearwater. Some baseball, good seats right behind the dugout. Spring training is winding down. This is the last time we'll see you, Matt Stairs.
Yes, it will.
Down here in Florida. See you back in Philadelphia, of course. Ryan Howard will step in. See the numbers for Howard. 205. 2 home runs. facing Justin Verlander. First pitch is line drive, right center field. That's going to fall in for a hit. And that'll be a base hit for Ryan Howard to start off the second, the first hit of the ball game for the Phillies.
You know, it's funny. We talk about when relievers come in to face hitters and throwing a first pitch changeup. This is a first pitch changeup right here. Good location. Nice job. Very nice job of Ryan Howard staying on the ball. But what are you throwing the changeup off?
Right.
Absolutely nothing. So you have no idea how his fastball is coming in at 93, 94. So you're not saying, okay, well, here's my 83-mile-an-hour changeup. To me right now, that's his 83-mile-an-hour heater, because that's the only pitch I've seen. But very nice job of Ryan staying through that baseball and driving it to right field.
And a guy like Justin Verlander, you would think, obviously knows all of that. So is it something he's just working on? Is that what you think? As Cameron Rupp watches that one over for a strike?
It's hard to say because, well, I don't know. You know pitchers. I can never figure pitchers out. Ryan Howard's a good fastball hitter, yes, but.
No, it makes complete sense. On the outside corner for a strike, so it's 0-2 to Cameron Rupp. He also apparently is a pretty good first ball changeup hitter.
Best we've seen today.
Well, the count is 0-2 to Cameron Rupp. Howard leads off first. And big swing and a miss, and he got him. So Rupp goes down swinging. The first strikeout for Justin Verlander, the first out of the inning. When you talk about strikeouts and the Detroit Tigers, you have to talk about Justin Verlander. There you see it, where he falls on the list. Number 3. Some pretty good names on that list as well. You know, he's climbing that list. It's going to pass, probably, most likely, he's going to pass Jack Morris at some point. I don't think he's going to catch Mickey, though.
No, I think that's legally safe.
Cedric Hunter pops that one straight up. Saltalamacchi out with the mask, but that is going to come down safely in the glove of a man out there in the crowd. I'll tell you what, that was up there for a really long time, and he made that was a heck of a catch. And that's why you bring your glove to the ball game. Because if not, that would have careened off of his hands, shoulders.
Right off his cabeza.
Perhaps his cabeza. So Cedric Hunter steps back in, batting .286 coming into this game. 3 home runs. The 1 pitch. Outside for a ball. A speed pitch. 10 RBIs for Cedric Hunter. He's played very well, and he has certainly opened eyes. He is in the conversation for a spot on this roster. Whether or not he lands it remains to be seen. The 1-1 pitch outside for a ball, 2-1. But I guess for a guy like Hunter, who rides in camp, the only thing you can hope is that, hey, in the last week of spring training, I'm still playing, and I'm still in the conversation, and he is that.
Well, and that's the nice thing about it, is that you still have an opportunity to play in the last week. Sometimes guys that are doing very well, coming into camp, you weren't sure what you're going to get out of them. All of a sudden, their bats go down from about 4 or 5 to 1, maybe a pinch hit here and there.
Back to the box for Lander. Turns and is going to get the lead runner at second base. So Ryan Howard is out at second for the second out. Once he bobbled it, only had chance for 1. Cedric Hunter moves well, so he got down the line pretty quickly. But 2 outs. And that'll bring up Tyler Goodell, another guy vying for a spot in the outfield. But I think you're right. And I think, you know, Pete Mackanin was asked about that very early in spring training about, you know, getting a chance to see a lot of guys. There were a lot of guys in camp. And he said he was going to do his very, he was going to do his very best to give these guys an opportunity. And I think for the most part, they really have done that.
Oh, absolutely. And Goodell, he's a Rule 5 kid. He's hitting .250, 1 home run, and 8 RBIs, but playing good defense. Good speed. They love his swing because it's nice and flat.
And a quick throw over.
David Lowe's another kid that came into spring training. Weren't sure what you were going to get. He's had a good spring training.
Yeah. And then Darnell Sweeney, who I think was really being looked at as a utility infielder early on, kind of switched to the outfield. And first pitch, snap throw back to try and get Hunter. It was a wide throw. Nice play down there by John Mayberry. But again, all of those guys still in the conversation. And hey, you know, the outfield is a little muddled right now because of the injury to Aaron Altair and Cody Ashe. Hunter leads off first. safe on the fielder's choice. Starts and stops, and Goodell swinging. Third base. It's bobbled a bit by Castellanos, and Goodell runs well, but still able to make the play across the diamond for the third out. So 5-3 goes to put out, and the Phils, well, they leave a base runner, and we're through 2. They trail by 1. Tuesday, April 12th at 7:05, McDonald's opening night, and free to all fans 15 and over, the opening night T-shirt. You see it there, blue color with college across the front. Very popular item every year. Hey, it's also Hatfield Dollar Dog Night that night. The Padres will be here April 12th, 7:05. Order your tickets now at Phillies.com. New pitcher for the Phils, Elvis Araujo. As the fans look on, 1-0 Tigers. Scored that first run in the first inning. A home run by Justin Upton, and that's where we stand right now as Araujo finishes up his warm-up tosses. Hey, we showed you the 5K video early on, and this is why I love Twitter, because folks are saying that it was Paul Matuzak that won the 5K, and we should congratulate Paul. First one across the finish line this morning for the Phillies 5K, so congratulations to him. And Paul can thank his brother Kevin for that. Sent it out. You saw the numbers on Elvis Araujo. He will face Tigers pitcher Justin Verlander, who squares around the bunt, takes that one inside for a ball. He's smiling, but I'm not sure he's thrilled about that pitch. 2 for 32 in his career. And now they're having some fun.
This is what I love. He's going to have to play against the National League team. Instead of hitting right now, he is practicing his bunting.
Yeah. And
perfect.
Why not?
As he should.
Brad talking it over and just wondering whether or not that's a good idea. Talking to Gene Lamont. Squares around and gets his bat on that one and fouls it back. Everybody's enjoying that. Elvis Araujo is one intimidating guy to have to step in against too.
He's a big man.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. And he gets that one down. And he's not going to run. Araujo throws it in the dirt, and Blanco able to pick it out. And the fans are going to let him hear about it for not running. He tips his cap. Says, that's not what I'm paid to do. 1 out here in the top of the third. Impressed?
Well, impressed that 1, he got the bunt down,
yeah.
And 2, I gotta believe he was told not to run.
I would think. Justin Verlander will be on the hill versus Miami in the first week of the season, so he is going to have to hit then.
And run.
And run. But he doesn't have to now, so he didn't. But the fans here, they let him have it.
Does that surprise you?
No. No, it makes me happy. There's the 0-1 pitch upstairs. It's 1-1 now to Whitten Bernard.
checking out Elvis's numbers from last year. He kept right-handed hitters hitting 200 compared to left-handers who were hitting 243 against him. Amazing.
1-1 pitch. Big hack and fouled off.
I would think it would be the opposite because it's being on the left side and having that large human being stand one on the first base side of the rubber.
Yeah. And when you say large human being, you mean 6'7", 274 long.
That's a big young fella.
It's a big man. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Inside for a ball. It's 2-2. It'll be Bernard and then Iglesias for the Tigers with one out here in the top of the third. Top of the order.
Sorry, if I say he stands on the first base side of the rubber, his foot's the whole length of the rubber.
Yeah, it is. It's fouled at the plate. Oh, no. Fouled back into the glove of Cameron Rupp, and it's a strikeout. I thought that hit off the dirt. It's not. Elvis Araujo with his first strikeout of the afternoon, the second out of the inning. Take another look.
Good fastball down. Perfect spot. And you've heard Ben mention this many times. If he does make contact with it, there's not a whole lot you can do with it. One, either you're going to hit a weak ground ball to first base or a weak fly ball to right field.
So it'll bring up Jose Iglesias, who flew out to right field in his first at bat. First pitch swinging, swings through that one. It's 0-1. Inside for a ball. 1-1 now to Jose Iglesias. Out at the plate. 1-2 now to Iglesias. Fouled over the Tigers dugouts. We'll do it again. 1-2 to Jose Iglesias. And Cameron Rupp wants to come out and have a conversation. So, Matt, I told you why Twitter was awesome, right? Because, you know, you can do stuff like that. We just got...
what was the female's name?
We haven't gotten that yet, but I hope we will. I was just wondering if you wanted me to tell you all the reasons why it's not. Why it's not awesome. We'll have that conversation off the air. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and he got him. So another strikeout for Elvis Araujo and a 1-2-3 inning for the big guy. Nicely done for him. We head to the bottom of the third. And it's 1-0 Detroit. Game Phillies win, get 50% off regular menu price pizzas using the promo code Phillies online at papajohns.com. And by WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Bottom of the third, 1 hit apiece for each team. The Tigers was a home run by Justin Upton. That's where we stand, 1-0, as Ryan Jackson steps in. Getting the start at third base is Jackson today, and takes that one upstairs for a ball. It's 1-0. Jackson batting .300 on the spring. He has a home run and a couple of RBIs. And Vince Velasquez has moved into the on-deck circle. The pitcher is going to pinch hit for the pitcher. We've talked about his athleticism, and I've heard that he can flat out hit, so we're going to get a chance to see him swing the bat. .2-0 pitch. Over for a strike. It's 2-1. Upstairs for a ball. 3-1 to Ryan Jackson.
Yeah, and I would think in the bottom of the third, it's a little too early to start using your guys off the bench, pinch hitters. Pretty good chance that Michael Franco has today off after playing most of the game last night.
See Andrew Bailey warming up in the Phillies bullpen. Big swing by Ryan Jackson, no contact, so it's 3-2 now to Jackson. Early on, there was a lot of buzz about how Vince Velasquez handled the bat. He was obviously in line for that 5th spot in the rotations in that battle with Adam Morgan. It's fouled off. But everyone says, hey, man, this guy can hit, too. You should see him hit.
A pitcher must have told you that.
I thought it was you that told me that. It must have been Ben that told me that. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Outside for a ball, and he walks him. So Jackson is a leadoff base runner. First walk for Justin Verlander, and that will bring up Vince Velasquez.
Who will more than likely bunt.
I guess at this point he probably will. I'm trying to find his... Well, he had no plate appearances last year for the Houston Astros. Not surprising. So... can't tell you what kind of hitter is. We can just sit back and watch together. And he squares the bunt and bunts it foul, so it's 0-1. Freddie Galvis waits on deck. Top of the order for the Phils. And quick throw over. Jackson gets back. Yes. Velasquez squares around the bunt again, takes that one high, pulls his bat back, so 1-1 to Vince Velasquez. Quick throw. Jackson is back. Third baseman Castellanos in on the grass and expecting bunt, but that one sails out of the strike zone, so it's 3-1 now to Velasquez. He already walked Ryan Jackson in this inning. Now he's falling behind the pitcher, Vince Velasquez. 2-1 is the count. Squares again. Bunts it foul, so 2-2 now.
I just got to believe it. As a pitcher, it cannot be a fun feeling or a good feeling to sit in there and all of a sudden you square around and knowing that you're going to bunt. Like that's it almost like you almost like to see, okay, let's turn around a little later, because it seems like they get so locked up where they want to bunt.
I know what you mean. 2-2 pitch. It's high and inside for a ball. It's 3-2 now. Full count to Velasquez. Yeah, almost that they get a little bit too rigid instead of being athletic.
Right. You don't want to turn around too early. I think Vince was turning around just a little too early, and he was kind of getting caught out there, and the pitch was coming in.
Well, the count is full. The 3-2 pitch. He takes his hack. Sends that one foul. Out of play, so we'll do it again. 3-2. Galvis due up next. Ryan Jackson leads off first. He walked to lead off the inning. The 3-2 pitch, fouled off again. So now he's getting his hacks.
I prefer to use the phrase, now he's getting his swings in for a pitcher. And no offense to pitchers.
Hey, he's working the count.
He is.
7 pitches is a bat. Jackson's off and running, and that one's fouled back again.
Okay, that was a hack.
Jackson's looking in at the signs. See what Juan Samuel is putting on. That was a good swing. You like that?
I like that one.
Okay.
Now, if you throw something that has a wrinkle in it, like a curveball or a changeup, would be interesting. Because you know he's geared up for 93 right now.
So
pitcher's thinking, hey, I'm going to get a heater from another pitcher. Runner's running.
Any chance we see an off-speed pitcher?
I would say no. I'd probably say fastball away.
3-2 pitch. The fastball away is hit into center field. That's going to fall in for a hit. Jackson was running on it. He'll stop at second. So there you have it.
You know, I take everything back I said. That man can rake.
You just can't get him out.
I apologize, because that was a nice swing.
That was a nice swing. It was, I'll take another look. Break it down for us.
High fastball. Got his foot down early. Head down. Elevated fastball. Missile up the middle. Used a big part of the field. I think he had no choice because the ball beat him a little bit, but still.
Well, nonetheless, Vince Velasquez gets a base hit. And the experiment works. So runners on first and second, Jackson and Velasquez. And that'll bring up the top of the order for the Phils, Freddie Galvis. He flew out to right field in his first at bat. And he does lay down the bunt. It's going to be fielded by the third baseman. Only one play. Wow, what a play. What a play by Aviles, who was covering first from his second base position. Able to catch that and step on the bag. Nice play all the way around by the Tigers. The bunt is successful. Moves the runners up to second and third. Well, that was a really, really nice defensive play.
It was a great throw off balance. But two, that's where Mayberry hasn't played a whole lot of first base. You have to read that play. If the bunt has gone towards third base, you as a first baseman, you back up and take the throw from the third baseman. But Mayberry kind of peeled off a little bit. I thought it was the right fielder coming in to catch the throw at first. It was a tremendous play.
It really was. That's the first out of the inning. So some good defense by the Tigers, but they still have runners at second and third to the Phils. And Andres Blanco steps in and takes that one over for a strike. It's 0-1 to Blanco.
And we talk about great defensive play, but the reason why it was a great defensive play because it was a tremendous bunt by Freddie Galvis, doing the little things and creating havoc on the base paths of getting the bunt down.
Yeah.
Very nice bunt.
It's obviously not bunting for a base hit there, but it makes them make a terrific play just to get the out. So it's 0-1 now to Andres Blanco with one out. Runners leading off second and third. So get this, back in 2010, Velasquez hit .608 as a senior in high school. It's impressive. Blanco turns on that, lofts it into right field. Collins is there. Runners are going to tag. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it is in time to get Ryan Jackson. So a perfect throw from Collins to Saltalamacchia, and he is out at home plate as Ryan Jackson, and that is a inning-ending double play. They did everything right. Took a perfect throw from Collins to get him. And we're through 3, and it's still 1-0 Tigers.
This year, Reading
is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota's hybrid fleet is nothing short of a home run. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. So some good defense by the Detroit Tigers in the bottom half of the 3rd inning, and keeps the Phils off the board after Phils got runners on in scoring position. So we still stand at 1-0 as Andrew Bailey checks in. He'll be the new pitcher here in the 4th for the Phillies. It really was a perfect throw by Tyler Collins from right field to Jared Saltalamacchia at home plate in order to get
tag.
Yeah, and a terrific tag as well. They did everything right.
They did. He gets behind it. It's a little running start and just makes an absolute solid throw to Hopper, but was on the line. There is a line to slide into home plate with Jackson. Saltalamacchia tagged him, looked like in the ribs.
That was the inning-ending double play. So give way to the top of the 4th. Andrew Bailey, who's been very good for the Phils so far. You see 5 games, 5 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts as well. And first to face him will be Justin Upton. Homered in his only at-bat to deep left field. He takes that first pitch over for a strike to account for the only run in this ball game. It was his first of the spring. Upton had 26 home runs a year ago with the San Diego Padres, 81 RBIs. Gets that one into right field, and that's going to fall in for a hit. It's going to take a turn at first, but he'll drop the anchor, and it's a base hit for Justin Upton. He's 2 for 2. Well, the Phillies Future Series Fathead presented by PGW is free to all fans 14 and under on Saturday, April 2nd at 1:05 when the Phils take on the Phillies Future. See the top minor league prospects as they go head-to-head against the big league club. You can order your ticket now at Phillies.com. So Upton is a leadoff base runner. Here comes the man who made the throw to end the bottom of the 3rd inning, Tyler Collins. He struck out in his first at-bat. sends that one into center field. Going back on it is Herrera. It's in the gap, and he's not going to be able to get it up off the wall, and it kicks away from Herrera. Upton is going to score. Collins rounds second, and he's going to stop at third as the relay throw comes into Ryan Howard. But Herrera couldn't get to it, and that is a stand-up triple for Tyler Collins. You saw Odubel.
Not a lot you can do right here. Yeah. Herrera, he had a tremendous jump. He's playing him straight up. That was a good beat. I thought he had a chance to catch it at first. Ball kind of kept on tailing away from him a little bit. Maybe it's the window a little bit helping him. And, of course, hitting him where the fence cuts out there, cut back, and for an easy triple.
I was going to say, we saw him make a terrific catch last night up against the wall, but yeah, that one's just slicing away from him the whole time. So, second run is across. Upton has scored them both for the Tigers. There's a runner at third. That's Tyler Collins. Nobody out. And Andrew Bailey facing Jared Saltalamacchia. The shift is on for the Phils. Saltalamacchia swings through that. He was safe on an error by Andres Blanco in his first at bat in a similar shift that has Blanco out there in shallow right field. And the third baseman Ryan Jackson on the second base side of the bag. It's over for a strike, so it's 1-2 now to Saltalamacchia.
It's a good location with that 86-mile-an-hour cutter. See if he goes back there again, or the curveball.
Outside for a ball. It's 2-2. Nick Castellanos waits on deck.
See if they go back up underneath his hands with the cutter again.
2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and he got him. So Saltalamacchia goes down swinging. That's the first out here in the top of the first.
It's a tough pitch to hit because one of cutters is a tough rotation to pick up. You can see this is a great location. A little slurve right there, but you think you're going to barrel it. Hard to pick the spin up. Next thing you know, you're swinging over top of it. Good location.
So Castellanos steps in. He flew out to right field. Cedric Hunter in his first at bat back in the second inning. Runner down there at third is Tyler Collins. He tripled. Bailey from the stretch. High ball one.
I like it, though. 93.
1-0 pitch. Popped up. Right field. Hunter coming in. Shallow right field. He's going to get a throw off. Collins will draw the throw, but it was a good one by Cedric Hunter, and Collins thought better of it. Went back to third base.
Look at those lefties in right field just throwing strikes to home.
Yeah, that was a one-hopper strike right to Cameron Rupp.
And those are the ones right there where you have a man on third base, one out, less than 2 outs. It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about hitting a cutoff man. You just let it. You can just airmail it. If you miss the cutoff man, so what?
Well, that'll bring up John Mayberry Jr. with 2 outs. Grounded out to the third baseman Ryan Jackson in his first at bat. So Collins leads off third. First pitch. Mayberry's over for a strike. In the dirt. It's blocked by Cameron Rupp. Bailey trying to work himself out of a little bit of trouble. 1 run across in the inning. 2 outs now with the runner at third. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside and low for a ball. It's 2-1.
It's like Mayberry's first at bat. Get ahead first pitch fastball, and then all of a sudden they start going with off speed. Bailey throwing the curveball, and Gomez was throwing a lot of sliders to him.
That one's over for a strike. It's 2-2, 91 on the gun. Two pitch. Foul off. Fifteen pitches so far for Andrew Bailey. We're on the top of the fourth. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Do it again.
Might see that overhand curveball right here. You have a pitch to waste. See if you get him fishing. A couple swings in a row when hitters get their timing down off fastballs. First one was over the visiting dugout. Next one was straight back. Now all of a sudden they're getting their timing down. Now throw the wrinkle.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and he got him. He did just that. 82 miles per hour. The off-speed stuff, and Andrew Bailey gets the strikeout to end the inning. But a single and a triple. Another run for the Detroit Tigers, and they lead it by 2.
Phillies, and since my team is out, the University of Texas, I want to wish Nova Nation the best of luck.
Hey guys, this is Andrew Bailey with the Philadelphia Phillies. I just wanted to wish the Wildcats good luck tonight, and Nova Nation.
Lots of well wishes for Nova Nation, and we'll extend that as well, right, Matt? As Villanova takes on the #1 seed Kansas tonight. #2 versus #1. 8:49 is the tip-off tonight in the NCAA tournament. With a chance to head to the Final Four for the Villanova Wildcats. So we wish them the best of luck. That's coming from a St. Joe Hawk. A lot of respect for what Jay Wright has done with that program over the years. And they're fun to watch. They're a good team. That is going to be an excellent ball game tonight.
I as well will cheer for them since my university got knocked out.
School of Hard Knocks?
University of Canada. We never made this.
It is quite the university. As Odubel Herrera takes that one over for a strike. It's 1-1 to Herrera. I'll be watching that game tonight. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Side and high for a ball. It's 2-1 to Odubel Herrera.
What time's that game come on tonight, did you say?
It's at 8:49 scheduled.
Okay.
It's going to follow the Oklahoma-Oregon game, I would imagine.
I've been watching the Flyers Coyotes at 10 o'clock.
Well, you know, that's what remote controls are for, my friend. 2-1 pitch. Swung on into right center field. On his horse is Collins and Bernard going back, and they're not going to get it. I think the wind maybe got a hold of that one. It just kept drifting, and Odubel Herrera is going to come in with a stand-up double. I thought Collins was going to catch that one easily.
I was just surprised to see how far that ball carried off his barrel of the bat. I mean, he hits. They're playing on opposite field and center field, but it just carries and carries and carries, and there's no opportunity to catch that.
Phillies will take it as Odubel Herrera stands at second, nobody out. That'll bring up Ryan Howard. He singled in his first at bat. First pitch to Howard is a little bit low and outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Ground ball, first base. Mayberry backs up on it, says he'll take it himself. That will move the runner along to third. Howard out at first. So with one out, Odubel Herrera down there at third base. That'll bring us to our Toyota leaders. They're the active career leaders in wins. Some guys that are still playing with wins. Justin Verlander, fourth on that list. Colin Colon and CC Sabathia, John Lackey at 165. And there you see Verlander, 157 wins so far in his career. Talked about it, the numbers at the top of the broadcast. Six-time All-Star, MVP, Cy Young Award winner. So Cameron Rupp steps in, and he's first pitch swinging. Fouls that one out of play. It's 0-1 to Cameron Rupp. Herrera 90 feet away to the leadoff double.
You're talking about the Cy Young and MVP for Verlander. 24-5 with an ERA at 2.4, 250 innings, 250 punch-outs.
And that is a line drive down the right field line, slicing. It'll stay fair, go up against the wall, and that'll be a double for Cameron Rupp. And that'll plate Odubel Herrera. Slice a little bit, but got that on the ground. And so two doubles in the inning, and the Phils have their first run.
Well, we always talk about hitting and make adjustments, and I think Cameron will be the first to say his first at bat he was over swinging. He had a slider, his first at bat he missed. First pitch, this at bat he overswung. Now all of a sudden he gets a pitch out over the plate, backs it off a little bit, lets it get a little deeper, drives the ball to right field for a huge double for an RBI.
Phils cut the lead in half. It's 2-1 now. They trail the Tigers, and that'll bring up Cedric Hunter. Cameron Rupp now leading off second. First pitch to Hunter's over for a strike. The 1 pitch upstairs for a ball. It's 1-1. We talk about Verlander's numbers in his Cy Young year. They were terrific. But he has struggled lately, or last season. He has struggled with injury, first and foremost. He hasn't been healthy. But he looks like himself this spring, though, which is a good sign for the Tigers. That one sails inside.
Well, you would figure, though, he had 8 consecutive years of 200-plus innings.
Right.
And he went 241 inning. 1 year he went 251, backed it up with 238. And for a guy that was throwing in upper 90s to 101, topped out at 102 before. Yeah, unfortunately, it's bound to start to go down the.
It catches up to it for sure.
Yeah. But today he's had good velocity, 93.
And we see it, 111 wins from 09 to 2015. Best in baseball. 3-1 pitch. Line drive over the head of the second baseman Aviles and into right field for a base hit. Cameron Rupp's going to have to stop at third. Well hit ball by Cedric Hunter, and the Phils have runners on the corner. It just continues to hit.
Well, and he continues to just putting the barrel on the ball too. I mean, this is a nice 3-1 swing. Luckily, he didn't get underneath it a little bit, or else that would have probably hit US 19.
So that'll bring up Tyler Goodell. He grounded out in his first at bat. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Bottom of the fourth. Phils trail by 1. It's 2-1.
Might we see a squeeze? 3 for 3 this year.
We've seen it a couple times. Castellanos is in on the grass, but Goodell is swinging, and he pops that one up. And John Mayberry is able to catch that in foul territory. So first pitch swinging is Goodell, and that's the second out of the inning.
And I answered myself, no.
Yeah. So Ryan Jackson will be the batter. It'll be up to him to pick up his teammate, Tyler Goodell. As Carlos Ruiz has stepped into the on-deck circle. Dahlia Hinojosa is warming up in the Phillies bullpen. Expect we'll see him next. So 2 outs with runners on the corners. Jackson takes that one upstairs for a ball. It's 1-0. He walked his first appearance. Cameron Rupp down there at third. Cedric Hunter leads off first. Quick throw over. Hunter gets back.
Talk about splitting time between the catching with Cameron and Chooch. Both have 26 at-bats this spring training.
Over for a strike.
You would like to see a few more. Whoever's going to be the starting catcher, he's going to get the majority of the playing time. You'd like to see him get at least 15, maybe 20 more at-bats before the camp breaks.
Which is possible. I mean, again, still 8 games to play. 1-1 pitch. Over for a strike. It's 1-2. We'll leave Florida on Wednesday after 5 games, including this one. So 4 after this one. But 3 more exhibition games back in Philadelphia and in Reading. Philadelphia and Reading. So there'll be some time. Another quick throw over.
Just comparing him to numbers with Michael Franco, he's got 53 at bats this spring training, which is a perfect number.
1-2 pitch. Upstairs for a ball. It's 2-2. Yeah, and he's made the most of those at bats. Now, we should remind folks that Carlos Ruiz was out of camp for a couple of days when he was back playing for his home country of Panama. World Baseball Classic. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off the glove. Saltalamacchia, and we'll do it again. So Ryan Jackson steps in. Verlander has his sign. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and he got it. So Verlander able to get out of the inning without any further damage. Phils will leave runners at the corners, but they're able to score a run in the inning. We will head to the top of the 5th. They trail by 1. April 17th at 1:35, Citizens Bank presents the Fanatic Birthday, and free to kids 14 and under on that day, the Fanatic Flare Hair Visor. If you're a kid under 14 and under, you're going to want that hat. The Nationals will be in town, and Citizens Bank is presenting the birthday celebration. You can order your tickets now at Phillies.com. I don't even think you have to be 14 and under to want that. I know people, Matt. I can get you one.
I appreciate that.
Okay, you got it. Dalier Hinojosa will be the new pitcher for the Phils. That you talked about in the Open today, and who you have been impressed with not only this spring, but at the end of last season when he came over from the Red Sox and joined the Phils.
Well, and he came from the Red Sox. You know, the big thing on him was that he didn't throw enough strikes. All we saw last year when he came over from Boston was a strike throw, and we've seen it this spring training.
Right on cue.
Thank you.
Yeah, gets that one over to Aviles. Kind of like it when a plan comes together, right?
You know, and what I like is that he throws the 94, but it's off-speed pitches. His good movement on his heater, but it's a split-finger fastball that's just, it's sickening because it drops so much.
Well, he has been impressive, and you know, you would imagine, of course, no spots have been set yet, but he's going to be a part of the bullpen for the Phillies. And then it just, you know, really remains to be seen what his role will be, whether he'll have a setup role, or seventh inning role, or perhaps a closer's role. Bob McClure keeping a watchful eye, the Phillies pitching coach. Here's the 1-2 pitch, ground ball. Galvis. And that's the first out of the inning. So Aviles, who didn't exactly bust it out of the batter's box, is thrown out. Oh, he slipped out of the batter's box. First base for the first out of the inning. Take another look. Oh, yeah, there he goes.
Down goes Frazier.
So that'll bring up Justin Verlander, who bunted in his only plate appearance today. He was thrown out of first base. He'll probably be up there to do the same thing. And he bunts that one in the air, and Ryan Howard makes the catch. So quickly, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. He didn't have to run on that one.
Didn't get booed.
So that'll bring up Winton Bernard. He's 0 for 2 this afternoon. Flew out to right field. He also struck out back in the 3rd inning. So 5 pitches and 2 outs for Hinojosa. And gets that one on the inside corner for a strike. Low for a ball. It's 1-1.
And I sit here and I try to figure out, you know, what Boston did not like in Hinojosa. They talked about not throwing enough strikes, whatever it is. He only pitched in 1 game. An inning and 2/3, he walked 2 guys. Then he came over to Philadelphia. He pitched 23 innings last year. He walked 8 guys, but punched out 21.
Yeah, you often wonder why guys are available that have talent like that.
Well, and it's amazing if you're gonna judge a player because you can't throw strikes in the minor leagues. Until you give him an opportunity in the big leagues, you just never know.
1-2 pitch. Well, he's getting his chance now, that's for sure.
Big thing on Kenny Giles is that he couldn't throw a slider for a strike.
Right.
Well, we saw a lot of sliders last year for strikes. So it's a nice story to see that a team said, well, you can't pitch in the big leagues because you don't throw enough strikes because you threw 1 inning and 2/3 and marked 3 guys. Now all of a sudden you talk about he could be considered a frontliner for being a closer.
Well, he gets the job done here. Galvis over to Ryan Howard, 3rd out of the inning. And a nice outing by Dalier Hinojosa. So we will head to the bottom of the 5th. Phillies still trail the Tigers 2-1. Well, busy night on Comcast Sportsnet. Coming up tonight at 6, a full recap of the Phillies-Tigers spring training game that you're watching right here. Flyers playoff race standings updates. An update from the Villanova tournament game as well. And the latest on the Sixers and the Eagles. No more, no a lot, no it all. Watch Nissan presents Sportsnet Central tonight at 6. Turned into a nice afternoon here at Bright House Field. Lots going on here at the ballpark. Day before Easter here in Clearwater. David Lowe will be the batter for the Phillies. And in that 9th spot, first pitch to Lowe is over for a strike. 63 pitches for Verlander so far today. Hasn't been in a whole lot of trouble. That one over as well. It's 0-2 to David Lowe.
Hasn't been in a lot of trouble, but he's been in an area where we could have scored a couple runs.
Yeah.
Collins had a great throw to home. Salfalamakia, first and third. Pop up to first base with 1 out. So he's made some pitches when he needs to.
Yeah, and his defense has helped him out as well. That one has popped up. Third baseman Castellanos comes in, and he loses it in the sun. It ends up hitting him right in the chest. And you could see that at some point he could not see that baseball anymore, and that's new life for David Lowe.
Well, sooner or later, these guys will figure out there is a sky, there is a sun, and you need glasses. He has no glasses. You see right there, he's fighting it.
Yep. And it glances off of his wrist. Can't feel good. Yeah, you know, just flip down sunglasses.
50 cents. Or whatever the price of the sunglasses are.
Generally, they're free. It's a little bit high for a ball. It's 1-2. Thinking if they want sunglasses, they can get them.
The great thing about those flip down glasses, if it's cloudy, you just put them in your back pocket.
1-2 pitch. And that is a back up the middle. But Iglesias able to cut it off and make the play. So 1 out here in the 5th. Thought for a second it might sneak through into center field. That's the first out, so Freddie Galvis will step in. 0 for 2 on the afternoon is Freddie. Still trying to figure out his swing. He hasn't locked in quite yet. First pitch is over for a strike. The 0-1 pitch. He swung on and turned on deep to right field, and forget about it. That one is way out of here. Close to US 19. Freddie Galvis turns on that one. His first home run of the spring. And that will tie the ball game at 2. Boy, oh boy. When he hits him, he doesn't get cheated. That's for sure.
No, he doesn't. And it's such a nice, easy swing by Freddie. You sit on Murph. Hopefully you can start finding the swing. Perfect timing, head down, extension. Loud noise. And just by watching him, after he hits it, he drops his head down. And he knows it's a home run.
I looked at the right fielder Collins, and he didn't even move. He had his hand on his hip, and he didn't even move. That one was way out of the ballpark, over that black fence. And so that ties it up. And that'll bring up Andres Blanco, who fouls the first pitch off. It's 0-1 to Blanco. 2-2 now here in the bottom of the 5th. It's not exactly what you want Freddie Galvis doing on a regular basis, but that was a nice, easy swing, and maybe that is something that helps him get locked in.
I'll take it on a regular basis.
Well, okay.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Stay out of the air.
Yeah. I'll take one a game if you're offering it, but. So the count is even to Andres Blanco, 1-1. 1 out. 1 run across. the outside corner for a strike. It's 1-2.
It's funny, though, sometimes how you take that approach of hitting is thinking, okay, I'm going to hit down on this baseball, and I'm going to hit a hard ground ball. Next thing you know, you have the perfect swing. You can just get under just a hair. You're thinking about driving down on it, and you hit it about 410 feet to right.
Outside for a ball, 2-2.
Then when you try to hit a home run, you hit about a scuba to third base.
Right, because you hit the top of the baseball. There's some kind of physics involved in all of that. Two-two pitch. Loses his bat. We'll have to go retrieve that. Count stays 2-2. Andres does that from time to time. Loses that bat.
And I have no idea how they do it. Chase Utley used to do it all the time.
So he steps back in. There's the 2-2 pitch. Line drive right at the first baseman Mayberry makes the catch. So Blanco hit it hard, but right at JMJ, and that's the second out of the inning. So that'll bring up Odubel Herrera. Doubled in his last at bat to lead off the fourth inning, which is good to see. Herrera batting .370 in the spring. Steps in there against Verlander. First pitch. Going outside for a ball. Pitch. Back. It's 1-1.
You know, when we talked to Pete yesterday, congratulating him about his extension, we should have asked him a question about, does he have a judge for when he finds 50, people 50 cents? Like, is there a judge, jury, or is he just the?
I think he's probably the judge and the jury.
He's the captain. He's the captain of the ship?
I think so. I think he knows exactly when he wants to collect and what he wants to collect on.
So do you think he's going to fine Herrera for his last at-bat hitting the double?
For what reason?
You think he should have hit a triple? For where the ball was, how long it was in the air? Do you think he might go to a committee and get a...
These are good questions. I don't know. 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, 2-2. When we talked to him yesterday, and for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, McKenna has put together a system where he fines players 50 cents if they don't do something mentally correct. Not physical errors, but mental errors, whether it be base running errors or what have you. And he did say yesterday as Herrera slices that one out of play. Left field line. Nice catch. He did say yesterday there hasn't been a whole lot of fines.
And with the fines, let's say that you make a mental mistake by missing a cutoff man. It costs everyone who's still in camp 50 cents.
Right. Everybody who's still on the major league roster, on the camp roster, has to pay the 50 cents. So.
He brought in close to $1,000.
That sounds like a lot of fines. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to the left side. Iglesias has it. Herrera busting that one down the line, but they get him by a step. So got out of the back box quickly on that one, and it was bang, bang. Well, speaking of bang, bang, Freddie Galvis, bang, bang, boom, over the right field wall, out of the ballpark. That ties it up. We head to the sixth. All knotted at 2. Turkey Hill Kids opening night. The Kids Pullover Jacket is free to all fans 14 and under when the Nationals are in town. It's Saturday, April 16th. Order your tickets now at Phillies.com. Another new pitcher for the Phils as they work through their bullpen. All tied up here in the top of the 6th inning. The new pitcher is Luis Garcia. In his 7th game is Garcia, the right-hander. Cameron Rupp's day is also done. Logan Moore is the new catcher for the Phils. So as we creep along in this one, some changes will be made. Cameron Rupp, the first one to exit this ball game for the Phillies from a position standpoint.
Cameron had a pretty good day, 1 for 2 with a double, RBI. Did a nice job behind home plate, blocking some baseballs, throwing in the dirt.
So now Luis Garcia, we'll see what he can do. We knew coming in this would be a bullpen game for the Phils, and we've seen just that. Different pitcher every inning so far, and by and large, the guys have really fared well against this Tigers lineup. There's the solo home run by Justin Upton back in the 1st against off of James Russell, and then double and a single back in the 4th. Plated the other run for the Tigers. So Jose Iglesias steps in 0 for 2 today. No pitch. A little bit low for a ball. It's 2-0. It'll be Iglesias, then Upton, Tyler Collins for the Tigers. Skips past Logan Moore, and it's 3-0 now to Iglesias. Garcia has good stuff. We know that. Doesn't always have the control he's looking for. Looking for it early now here in the 6th. Gets that one over for a strike. It's 3-1.
Tremendous stuff. Just a matter of being consistent with it.
Three-one pitch, line drive to left field, right at Tyler Goodell, and he makes the catch. So Garcia battles back and gets the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Justin Upton. Upton's had a very good day. The home run back in the 1st, and then he singled in the 4th and scored on the double by Tyler Collins. 2 for 2. Couple run scored as well. First pitch to Upton is on the outside corner for a strike. Here is the first inning home run by Justin Upton.
There goes the first home run. Crushed to left field. Pitch middle of the plate.
That one's in the dirt. It's 1-1 now. Garcia spent his first full season in the majors a year ago. As part of the Phillies bullpen. 29 years old from the Dominican Republic. Appeared in 72 games for the Phillies last year. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, and that one's drilled center field. Herrera going back on it. He turns his back, and that is gone. Straight away, center field. Justin Upton goes deep again, the 2nd time in this ball game. He has 2 home runs this spring, and we've seen them both this afternoon.
Both home runs have been absolutely crushed.
Yeah. So have yourself a day, Justin Upton. He scores the 3rd run on the afternoon for the Tigers. 2 solo shots. Take another look.
Fastball right over, right middle of the plate. Almost identical swing as the first time. This one here a lot longer, a lot farther. Just left of the batter's eye.
So Tyler Collins steps in now. He also has an RBI today on a double. should say on the triple. Tyler Collins, the triple. And he hits that one past Andres Blanco at second base, and another base hit for Collins. So Garcia got the first batter, Iglesias, on the line drive, but has allowed the home run and now a single. And that'll bring up Jared Saltalamacchia. Saltalamacchia was safe on an error back in the second inning. 0 for 2. So Collins leads off first. First pitch to Saltalamacchia is over for a strike.
You know, and I've talked about it through spring training is how hard pitchers throw nowadays. Guys that throw 95 have to spot your fastball, because if you make a mistake, we've just seen 3 hard hit baseballs. So it doesn't matter how hard you throw. The hardest pitch is a well spotted fastball. He has the stuff. He has tremendous stuff.
Good throw over, chases Collins back. The 1-1 pitch. It's down the left field line, slicing foul. So it's 1-2 to Jared Saltalamacchia. So much like an offensive player, a batter, you're looking for Luis Garcia to figure something out and kind of get locked in. Maybe it's a confidence thing at some level.
Well, I mean, he had a good year last year.
Funky swing from Jared Saltalamacchia, and he gets the strikeout there. So he fools him for the second out of the inning.
Well, Salty, I've been there many, many times, that type of swing. That is a swing we call the underwater swing. Is that as bad as fast? Did you ever try to swing a bat underwater?
Well, I can't say that I have, but I can imagine it would be difficult.
Yeah. That's what it looks like. That's the velocity of your barrel going through the zone.
Totally fooled on that. So that's 2 outs. And Castellanos steps in.
There it is. There's the underwater swing right there. Oh, I've been there many times. And all you can do is you go back and laugh. And then break something.
Right.
Then laugh again.
With your bat. Another throw over, and Collins is back. Castellanos, a couple of fly balls in this game to Cedric Hunter, 0 for 2.
You know, and depending on what type of teammates you have, what type of person you are, I would love to have someone come and say, "Hey, Stairsy, man, right on top, right on that ball."
And another swing and a miss, so it's 0-2 now to Castellanos. Yeah, because it's like one of those things. You got to laugh at yourself at some point. Lord knows I do often. Not at you, me, and you.
You left my golf swing all the time.
Sometimes that looks like it's underwater.
All the time. Usually where the golf ball goes, underwater. Or top of a house.
0-2 pitch. Poked foul. Oh, right through the hands. Yep. Tigers fan's going to hear it. Oh, look at that.
Give it back to him.
Phillies fan hands it back to the Tigers fan. So Garcia is ahead of Castellanos, 0-2. Collins leads off first, 2 outs. Top of the 6th. Solo home run by Justin Upton. It's giving the Tigers back the lead. It's 3-2. In the dirt. Davis comes in to have a little bit of a conversation with Luis Garcia. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Inside and low for a ball. It's 2-2.
So this is the 7th pitcher of the game. I would think that the mound, you have guys that have longer strides, shorter strides, landing in different spots. I would imagine the mound is getting torn up pretty good right now.
2 pitches fouled off. I mean, it's obviously in perfect condition.
Oh,
the field. But yeah, your point is a good one. I guess they each pitcher will go out there and address whatever needs they have before they start throwing, when they're throwing their warm-up tosses.
See, it's a lot different for a hitter. Yeah, we have a lot of hitters going through the 18, 20, 21, 22 hitters go into the batter's box, but you can dig and dig and dig and make a big hole and feel comfortable. Or you can move up in the box or back in the box a little bit.
2-2 pitch. Ground ball. Left side, and it gets past the diving Ryan Jackson. Collins will hold up at second, but that's a base hit for Castellanos. So 2 aboard with 2 outs now here in the 6th. Pretty good at bat for Nick Castellanos. And that'll bring up John Mayberry Jr. Mentioned that Garcia set a career high in games last year. He appeared 72 games, also 66 and 2/3 innings, 63 strikeouts for him, all career highs. He also had 2 saves last year. So very good season for the Phils. But he also had outings where, you know, left
interesting.
He left you scratching your head a little bit. Runners lead off first and second. The 1-0 pitch in the dirt. Stopped by Moore. Pitch in the dirt. So it's 3-0 now. John Mayberry Jr. And if I remember correctly, he would often get the first or second out in an inning and then would struggle to be able to close it out when he was struggling.
You are correct.
3-0 pitch. Swung on and hit well. Goodell going back on it at the track, and he makes the catch. So just missed by John Mayberry Jr. And Tyler Goodell is able to track it down in left center field, and Luis Garcia gets out of the inning. But Tigers take the lead again on the solo home run by Justin Upton. It's 3-2. head to the bottom of the 6th. Tigers lead it 3-2. Both teams with 6 hits. The Phils have an error as well. Here's what the Tigers rotation will probably look like going into this season. Verlander right there at the top, looking to have that bounce back year we talked about. And Jordan Zimmerman, rotation. Anibal Sanchez, Pelfrey, and Norris. You and I were talking about it in the office before the game. You look at that, you say, you look at Rich Doobie, that's pretty good rotation.
It is, and it's, you know, Pelfrey, I think he's better than the 6 and 11. Anibal Sanchez is definitely better than 10 and 10, and I think you're going to see a big bounce back from Justin Verlander, 5 and 8.
Well, he's been real good this spring, an ERA under 2.
Now remember, you're pitching at a ballpark that's huge in Detroit, which we'll see this year.
That's right. Phillies will head to Detroit this year. That's a cool ballpark.
Oh,
I like that.
It's awesome.
Yeah. There's about 65 Tigers in and around the ballpark. Ryan Howard steps in against Verlander's 1 for 2. Upstairs, it's 2-0.
I think they've said that there's only been like 2 or 3 players to ever hit home run straightaway center at that ballpark. Cabrera hit it over the batter's eye, which is no surprise.
2-0 pitch, swung on, popped up, and out of play. 2-1 now to Ryan Howard. Ernesto Frieri is beginning to get loose in the Phillies bullpen. Straight back. It's 2-2 now to Ryan Howard. Numbers are good on Justin Verlander today. 85 pitches. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, line drive, right center field. Collins on his horse. He's not going to get there. It's going to go all the way back to the wall. Howard rounds first, and he'll cruise into second. His second hit of the ball game. It's a double for Ryan Howard. Good way to lead off here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, it's a great way to lead off, hitting a leadoff double. But what I really like is his 2 knocks today have come off a changeup, and this here is a curveball. You have to stay on that baseball. If you have any pull off of your upper body, your shoulder pulls off a little bit to your right, it's a weak ground ball to second base or into the shift who's playing third base at second base. So nice to see him drive the ball to right center on a curveball, staying on the pitch.
So a conversation on the pitcher's mound with Brad Auspis, and that is going to do it for Justin Verlander. So we're going to have a pitching change here. We believe Justin Wilson will be the next one for the Detroit Tigers. We'll step aside. We'll be right back. So a pitching change for the Tigers as they lead at 3-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Ryan Howard's down there at second base and nobody out. The new pitcher for Detroit, Justin Wilson. 7th game. It's 1-1 with an ERA over 10 right now. He'll come in to face Logan Moore. They've also changed their catcher, did the Tigers. Brian Holiday is the new catcher for Justin Wilson now. There you see Holiday. So Howard will lead off second. Moore's first at bat of the afternoon after replacing Cameron Rupp. First pitch to Moore is high and inside for a ball. It's 1-0. One-0 pitch, fouled straight back. It's not bad. Oh.
Where were you going?
There was something on the floor over here. I just had to pick it up.
Justin Wilson, 74 games last year for the New York Yankees.
Trying to be a part of the Tigers going forward. 1-1 pitch. That one's fouled straight back as well. It's 1-2 now. Also played for the Pirates. He's ahead of Logan Moore 1-2 with Ryan Howard leading off second. 1-2 pitch. Outside for a ball. It's 2-2.
Good velocity, 95 on the heater.
Two pitch. Low for a ball. 3-2. Foul ball.
This is an area right here, if you have the confidence in being a left-handed pitcher, throwing 95 miles an hour and throwing something off speed like a hard slider. As a hitter right now, you have Ryan Howard at second base. No out. Your job is to hit a ball to right field. You need to cheat and get the barrel out to make sure you pull the ball. Off-speed pitch, you'll swing right over top of it.
He hits that one hard to the right side, so he gets the job done, does Logan Moore. Howard moves up to third, and a productive out for Logan Moore.
Very good at bat.
4-3 goes the put out. So with one out, runner at third, that'll bring up Cedric Hunter. He singled in his last at bat. Tying run 90 feet away for the Phils. First pitch to Hunter is lined out of play. Hunter came into the game batting .286. He does have those 3 home runs. Spent all of last season with the Braves AAA team in Gwinnett. .283, 12 home runs, 72 RBIs for Hunter. One pitch on the outside corner, 7-2. Go-to pitch. Swung on, hit well to left field. Going back on it is Upton. He's at the track. He'll make the catch, but Ryan Howard will tag and he will score. So back-to-back productive outs for the Phils, and they push across the tying run. Hit that a long way the opposite way.
Good at bat. Couple pitches that you had to hit. You know, the pitch prior to that was 96, just a little off the plate. Called for a strike, and then all of a sudden you get the fastball elevated. Does a nice job of driving it deep enough for a sac fly. Another good at bat.
Showing off his strength, going the other way. So that'll bring up Tyler Goodell. Goodell 240 this spring. Watches that one on the outside corner for a strike.
Now that's where if there's changes in baseball, Moore did a great job of hitting a ground ball to the right side, advancing the runner from second to third. He goes 0 for 1. Next guy hits a fly ball to left field. No at bat, RBI, average doesn't suffer. Somehow you got to split the RBI or something going on.
Like the second assist in hockey? Is that what yeah. The 0-2 pitch to Goodell. Foul.
And look, you're extremely happy, especially faced on a tough left-hander. You hit a ground ball to the right side, or you hit a fly ball to the right side. You do your job. You're happy. Yeah. You really are. And the coaches know that. And the coach is extremely happy.
Yeah, you're not going to get the RBI, but you are going to get a pat on the back from Pete Buchanan and the coaches, because that you got your job done. Right. That's exactly what you needed to do. 0-2 pitches in the dirt. It's 1-2.
It's called doing the little things. Although getting that, that little pat on the back doesn't help your average, but might help you staying around a little longer in the big leagues.
Yeah, absolutely. 1-2 pitch, ground ball to the left side. Iglesias circles it, quick throw, and he is pulled off the bag. Mayberry's pulled off the bag, and Goodell is safe down there at first base. Tried the swipe tag, but Goodell moves well, and he got up the line in a hurry. See how they score that.
Base hit.
Base hit for Tyler Goodell. Yeah, it was a tough play for Iglesias. Did everything he could.
Iglesias, I'll tell you what, a good throw that would have had him. He's a very talented shortstop.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say would have had him. Would have been a bang-bang play.
It would have been close. So Ryan Jackson steps in with 2 outs. First pitch to Jackson's a strike. Cal Franco has moved into the on-deck circle. He would bat next for the Phils. Low, ball 1. There he is.
Guess I was wrong. I thought he was going to have the day off.
Yeah.
Today.
Jackson swings at that one. It's 1-2 now to Ryan Jackson. Goodell leads off first. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ryan Jackson with 2 outs. High and outside for a ball. It's 2-2. Wilson has his sign. Throw over. Two pitch. Foul, then out of play. Do it again. Souvenir came with a price.
Sore hand or knocked the beer over?
Sore hand. Which is better than the beer falling over. Foul ball caught by Catcher Brian Holiday, and Ryan Jackson is the strikeout victim. So that's the third out of the inning, but the Phils able to tie it up. Ryan Howard with a double. We're going to head to the seventh, all tied at 3.
There's a lot to see.
Turned out to be a really nice afternoon here in Clearwater. Pretty good ball game as well, as the Tigers and the Phils all locked up in 3. Justin Upton's been the story for the Tigers. He has 2 home runs. He scored all 3 runs for the Tigers. Justin Verlander was, well, as advertised. They scattered 7 hits. He allowed just 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Ryan Howard's had a good day, too. Single and a double for him. And Freddie Galvis added a solo home run. And that's where we stand as we head to the top of the 7th inning, and there's the new pitcher for the Phils, Ernesto Frieri. Comes in to his 6th game this spring. Right-hander from Colombia. First pitch to Mike Aviles. For a strike, it's 0-1. Frieri worked from the stretch. 1 pitch, check swing, yeah, he went around. Says the home plate umpire Phil Cuzzy. So it's 0-2 now to Mike Aviles. He's grounded out in both his appearances today. Once popped up in the infield. Freddie Galvis calls for it, and he makes the catch. So an easy out. The Phil's infield, the first out of the inning for Ernesto Frieri.
Nice pitch right there off speed. Julius way out in front of it.
So that'll bring up Brian Holiday, who checked in as the catcher when the Tigers made their pitching change. So his first at bat, his first pitch swinging. He skies that one into shallow center field. Herrera fighting the sun. He's going to give way to Tyler Goodell, who makes the catch. Herrera lost it in the sun, but good communication between the two of them. Tyler Goodell makes the catch for the 2nd out. That you like to see.
I do, and you can tell right here he's fighting the sun. He knows he can't see it. He gets called off, and that's where we talk about the communication. You know, I got it, you take it, whatever it's going to be. But the communication has to start when you take the field. You yell over and say, hey, the sun's in my eye, Tyler, or Cedric, the sun's in my eyes. If I'm going this way, if you can get there, you take it.
So Wynton Bernard is the batter for the Phils. Or, excuse me, for the Tigers against Ernesto Frieri. Frieri catches the outside corner. It's 1-1 now to Wynton Bernard. 0 for 3 on the afternoon is Bernard. That one right back at Frieri, who makes the catch. Yeah, not exactly the most graceful catch, but hey, he'll take it as that one came right back at him, makes the catch, falls back off the mound, but that is the third out of the inning. Frieri will have a laugh about that. Take another look. Hey, I'd have gotten out of the way, so nice catch by Frieri. And that is the final out of the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. We're tied at 3.
Stan said,
Is live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay connected all spring with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet. And we're back here in the bottom of the 7th. Mark Lowe is the new pitcher for the Detroit Tigers. Cesar Hernandez is going to check into this game. He'll be the first to face Mark Lowe, appearing in his 8th game. So Hernandez will get his first at bat. Gustavo Nunez also into the game for the Tigers. He's the new shortstop. First pitch to Hernandez. He swings at it. Mayberry lays out, makes a nice catch. He's going to flip it over to Lowe, and just in time gets Cesar Hernandez. So nice play by John Mayberry Jr. Nice job by Lowe covering over there first. So 1 pitch and 1 out.
A nice play. The ball wasn't hit very hard, but he takes 2 steps. Helps when you're 6'12". There's a nice flip.
6'12" indeed. So Freddie Galvis will be the batter. We should take this time, Matt, to recognize this date, because lots of Phillies fans certainly understand that March 26th is the birthday of the great Harry Kalas, who would have been 80 years old today. Born in 1936 was Harry, and from a guy who grew up in Philadelphia and spent most of my nights under the covers listening to the games on the radio. You think back to just how wonderful Harry Kalas was, and then I was lucky enough to get a chance to work with him briefly near the end, and he's certainly missed every single day by Phillies fans, certainly by all of us. Just wish the great Harry Kalas a happy birthday.
Absolutely.
You had the thrill of having him call a couple of your home run balls.
Last call?
Yeah.
Colorado.
His last home run call was a Matt Stairs home run. The count is 2-1 to Freddie Galvis. Swings at that one. It's 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouls that one back as well. So it's 2-2. Count remains to Freddie Galvis. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Galvis homered his last at bat. It was a long one. Right field wall. And line drive into right field. And a good swing for Freddie Galvis, and that's a base hit. So Galvis is a 1-out base runner in the 7th. That is a good sign to see. We were talking about Freddie and him trying to figure it out, trying to find his swing. Well, he had a couple of good ones today.
Well, if you want to find your swing, this is the time you want to find it.
Yep.
The week before the season, and before the season starts.
Well, that'll do it for Freddie Galvis as he'll check out of this game. Emmanuel Burris will take his spot over at first base and get some high fives in the dugout. Job well done. So with 1 out, Burris will take the lead off first, and Andres Blanco will step in. First pitch to Blanco is inside. Almost hit him. Able to get out of the way. Fouls that one off the plate. So it's 1-1 now with 1 out here in the 7th. Odubel Herrera is on the on-deck circle for the Phils. Burris leads off first. Pitch over for a strike. It's 1-2 to Andres Blanco. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball left side and through the hole between the shortstop and the third baseman. Burris will stop at second, but that's a base hit the other way for Andres Blanco. So back-to-back singles now for the Phils. Runners at first and second with 1 out. And Odubel Herrera will step to the plate. Herrera 1 for 3. It was a double back in the 4th.
I love watching hitters get knocks, the base hits, but I love it when they get a 2-out knock. I mean, they shorten their swing up, they put the ball in play, and a lot of good things happen. So 2-out knocks for RBIs are even better, but 2 strike knocks.
Well, 1-out knock wouldn't be bad right here.
Did I say 1-out knock, a 2-out knock? I meant 2 strike knocks.
I know what you meant. Delaware Valley knew what you meant.
Good, because I was lost for a second.
Glad you're back. Herrera's ahead 1-0. Runners take their lead off first and second. Swings through that. It's 1-1. Odubel batting .357 this spring. .297 a year ago for the Phils. Real bright spots last year. Kind of burst onto the scene as the Rule 5 draft pick. And some good things as he fouls that one down the left field line. All while learning a new position out there in the outfield. He is a fierce competitor.
sometimes learning a new position helps you offensively. You don't take things for granted. You know, playing defense, hey, I'm a second baseman or an outfielder, you're working on something different.
And he lines that one into right field, and that's going to be in for a base hit. Burris rounds third. He's going to score. Blanco will get all the way to third base, so a very nice piece of hitting from Odubel Herrera. And the Phils take a 4-3 lead.
Right on cue, hitting line drives. And as I was saying, you think about, okay, I'm going to work every day at center field. I need to work on my jumps. I need to work on my throwing, whatever, first step, whatever it is. Now all of a sudden when you go home at bedtime, you don't have to think about this so much because it's just natural. Hitting line drives like he did there. Little bat flip, huge knock. Peter Borges, I mean, he's playing left field, right field. He has to take extra fly balls, extra ground balls. So you kind of get away from thinking about hitting so much that it helps you relax.
It diverts your attention. Absolutely. It makes complete sense. If you're going to go home and just sit up and think about everything you did wrong at the plate or what's happened at the plate, well, now your attention is diverted into a couple different areas, and it's a good thing. Get your mind out of the way. As Ryan Howard takes that first pitch over the outside corner for a strike. 2 for 3 is Ryan Howard. He's got a chance for an RBI here with runners on the corners. 1 out. Swings through that. It's 0-2 now to Ryan Howard. Three straight singles for the Phils, giving them the lead here in the bottom of the 7th. And they're looking for more. Herrera leads off first, Blanco off third. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to the right side. Mayberry's going to come home with it. The throw is wide. And that was a poor decision by John Mayberry. Blanco slides in safely. Phils now lead at 5-3, and Ryan Howard is safe down there at first base.
Well, you're absolutely right, Murph. It's a almost, I'm not sure if you're going to get an easier 1-6 or 3-6-3 double play. It almost looked like he thought the ball was hit a lot harder. And if he takes his time, he spins and throws to second base. You can see where you can see where Herrera is. Good throw to second base. It's an easy double play.
Yeah, and it didn't even look like a sense of urgency to throw that ball home. Right. Kind of took his time, and Blanco, he scored easily on that. So Phils will take it. It's 5-3 now. Runners at first and second, still just 1 out. And Logan Moore steps in, swings through that pitch.
Again, that's where first baseman, you start thinking, okay, if a ball's hit to my left, all right, I'm going to step on first base and fire it home, because you take away the force play at second base. Something hit that hard at me, I'm going to turn and throw to second base, and then to my right, a high chopper, I need to come home.
Herrera straying off of second base a little bit. Oh, he wants to chase him back. Yeah, you know, I don't think I know what John Mayberry was thinking, but it was almost as if he
wasn't thinking.
It was almost like he didn't go through the scenarios beforehand and had to think on the fly. And when you're doing that in a game that moves this quickly, it's going to cost you. So the runners lead off first and second. 1-1 pitch upstairs. It's 2-1 to Logan Moore.
Well, especially when it's first and third, and you know you're going on contact on a ground ball. The ball hit on the ground, the third baseman's going on contact. That slight hesitation, no chance. I mean, we just saw it. So take advantage of it. RBI for Ryan Howard.
2-1 pitch outside. 3-1 now to Logan Moore. Pop straight up and out of play on top of us. So now it's 3-2 to Logan Moore. Runners at first and second. 1 out. 3 straight singles and a fielder's choice. Plated 2 runs for the Phils here in the bottom of the 7th. Low spins and looks Odubel back at second base.
I wouldn't think that the runners are going anywhere. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. But if they are, it's more than likely the throw is going to go to second base. Throw behind the runner, try to get Ryan trying to steal second base.
3-2 pitch. Foul ball. Yeah, I don't think Howard is probably going anywhere.
No, and I wouldn't be surprised if Herrera just stays put at second base. He's already in scoring position. Me personally, I didn't like runners trying to steal from second base with 2 strikes. You see them moving around quite a bit at second base.
3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and he got it. So Moore is a strikeout victim. That is the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Cedric Hunter, but not before it brings out Brad Ausmus, and a pitching change for the Tigers. Confessor Lara is the guy, right-hander, warming up in the Tigers bullpen. It looks like he will be next for Detroit. So we'll step away. Phils have put a couple on the board here, and they lead it 5-3. The 7th, 2 outs. The pitching change for the Tigers. The Phils with 2 runners on, runners at first and second. They've already scored 2 runs in this inning to take a 5-3 lead over the Tigers. And the new pitcher for the Tigers is Confessor Lara. See his numbers from the minor leagues last season, 2-2 with an ERA of 3.68. Want to tell the folks everything you know about Confessor Lara at this point?
Right-hander, tall, has a very nice, easy delivery, drops down 3/4, tops out at 94, 95 miles an hour, and has an off-speed pitch.
And where's number 81? That was excellent work on your part. He will be the new pitcher. He is going to deal with Cedric Hunter. Fielder for the Phils. So Odubel Herrera leads off second. He singled. Ryan Howard leads off first. He was safe on the fielder's choice, and the first pitch to Cedric Hunter is over for a strike.
That's where it's tough for hitters. You have no scouting report on any pitchers.
And Hunter hits that one into the glove of John Mayberry Jr. down there at first base. He steps on the bag unassisted. So Hunter unable to do any damage against Confessor Lara, but the Phils do some damage in the bottom of the 7th. They score 2 in that inning. Take a 2-run lead. We'll head to the top of the 8th. Latest on the Phillies. Well, we've got the answer. Follow Phillies insider Jim Salisbury on Twitter and on csnphilly.com. I do. You do.
Sometimes you follow him around the ballpark.
Here's Emmanuel Barris. He's the new shortstop for the Phils. And Bobby LaFramboise will be the new pitcher. 6'4", 225-pounder, left-hander. Out of the University of New Mexico. Having a good spring. Keeping himself relevant in the conversation. And
as it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Gustavo Nunez will get his first at bat of the ball game. So it'll be Nunez and then Justin Upton for the Tigers, who wreaked havoc on the Phillies this afternoon. It's been a one-man band for the Tigers. First, LaFramboise works against Nunez. Squares around a bunt, takes that one over for a strike. It's 1-1. LaFramboise was drafted by the Mariners in 2008. After playing at the University of New Mexico for 2 years. One pitch, over for a strike. It's 1-2. He played with the Pirates last season. Outside for a ball. It's 2-2 to Nunez.
Takes a few pitches to get used to his delivery. A little funky delivery. You got to try to figure out when to start and when to pick up the ball coming out of the hand.
Yeah, big swing and a miss, and he gets Nunez swinging. So good first batter for Bobby LaFramboise. And that'll bring up Justin Upton, and that brings us to our WB Mason deliveries of the game.
Well, it's all about home runs. It's all about Upton hitting balls about 900 feet today. His first at bat, solo home run to come out in the 6th inning. Absolutely crushes the Garcia fastball. Just left the batter's eye for his second of the game and second of the season. Those are your WB Mason deliveries of the game.
So Bobby LaFramboise will see what he can do against Justin Upton. One out here in the 8th, and the first pitch, Upton is over for a strike.
Nice pitch.
It swings right through it. Quickly 0-2. It looked like the same pitch that got Nunez swinging. Ten of Laframboise's major league appearances last year. 10 of his 11 appearances were scoreless. With the Pirates, he bounced back and forth between AAA and the major leagues last year. The 0-2 pitch is inside for a ball, 1-2. But when he was up in the big leagues, he pitched very well.
He did. And I see why. Crossfire, stands on the third base side of the rubber.
1-2 pitch. Line drive in a left field. Coming in on it is Goodell, but it's going to drop in front of him. Hits off his leg. He keeps it in front of him, so that'll be a base hit for Upton. And, well, it's been a perfect day for Justin Upton. He's 4 for 4.
I gotta believe Justin Upton's gonna sleep very well tonight. He's really gonna enjoy the bus ride back to Lakeland.
Yeah, well, his day is over, and he comes out. Pinch runner will take his spot over there at first base. So, yeah, if you're going to make the bus ride over, and Ben Verlander will be the pinch runner for Justin Upton. No relation, I don't think, to Justin. Laframboise gets Collins to swing through that. 0-1. Detroit leads the league in Verlanders. Pitch, line drive, right center field, and that is going to split the gap and go all the way back to the fence. So Verlander's going to round third, and he's going to score. And Tyler Collins has his second triple of the afternoon. And it's a 5-4 ball game.
Pitch up in the zone, gets on top of it. Drives it to right center. Collins can run. He's quick.
Yeah, he can.
It's cut under the wall, which helps out. The second stand-up triple of the game.
So Collins went 3 for 4 with 2 triples and a single, and his afternoon is done. As the pinch runner is checked in, Cam Gibson is down there at third base now. Dominic Ficociello steps in, takes that first pitch low for a ball. So 5-4 now. The Phils with a 1-run lead, 1 out here in the 8th. And ball's fouled out of play. So 1-1 to Ficociello.
You get good with all these good pronunciations. Tough words.
I'm just hoping that it's Ficociello. Runner at third base, Cam Gibson. Laframboise is ahead. 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball. And unable to make the tag is Ryan Jackson at third. He does not make the throw over to first. And everybody is safe. He caught Gibson sneaking off the bag, but not able to make the tag. He was safe at third. No throw over at first, and everybody's safe. And that's a tough one.
The tags him right there. He's out.
Yeah,
he missed him.
But he just missed him. Just out of arm's reach. And by the time that he had made the swipe tag and missed him, runner was already safe at first base. So runners on the corners now with 1 out. Seen some odd plays in this game today. And that was foul. Nick Castellanos. So the ruling on that last play is a fielder's choice. A hit. So runners at the corners now. first. Castellanos is 1 for 3. He singled in his last at bat in the 6th inning. His first-round pick of Detroit back in 2010. It's been the last 3 years. Big league club. Another throw over. So LaFramboise trying to work himself out of a little bit of trouble. Pitch, big swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
I would think you got to throw almost the same pitch right here. A lot of times you want to throw a high fastball 0-2, but LaFramboise's fastball gets really flat when he throws up in the zone. Gets more movement when it stays down in the zone. You get the late movement.
The 2 pitch is foul ball at the plate. So the count remains 0-2 with 1 out.
You know, the way he throws, the way his arm angle is, anything that's elevated, and we saw with the triple, the Collins hit to right center, the ball becomes very flat. When he stays down in the zone, that's when he gets that late movement. He gets the late, we call it a heavy sink or a heavy ball, because last second it runs away from the barrel and you end up hitting it off the end of the bat.
Well, he'll try and get the job done again against Nick Castellanos. Has his sign from Logan Moore as the runners lead off the corners. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside for a ball. It's 1-2.
He's worked away with a lot of changeups away. Great time for a heater inside right here. Try to freeze him.
1-2 pitch. Fouled out of play, so count remains 1-2 to Nick Castellanos. Castellanos back in the box. Voice from the belt. 1-2 pitch. Line drive right at the shortstop. Wow. Barris picks it for 1 over to first. Double play. Emmanuel Barris gets the double play started. 6-4-3. Barris to Blanco to Ryan Howard, and LaFramboise gets out of the inning. Some solid defense. And the Phillies get out of trouble. Tigers do score 1. We head to the bottom of the 8th. It's 5-4. Well, Monday, April 11th at 3:05, it's Nemours opening day. The Padres in town, and it's free to all fans who come through the gates at Citizens Bank Park. A Phillies commemorative opening day cap. The logo on the side, there you see it. You can get your tickets. Just go online, Phillies.com. You can order them right there. We'll see you down there at the ballpark. Changes for the Detroit Tigers as they make some moves defensively. Ben Verlander will stay in the game, and he'll play left field. Cam Gibson will stay in the game and play right field now. So both of those guys coming in as pinch runners. Part of the outfield for the Tigers. And the new pitcher for Detroit is Francisco Rodriguez. It's been pretty good for them this spring, appearing in his 4th game. First to face him will be Tyler Goeddel. And he takes that first pitch over for a strike. Goedel's 1 for 3. Big swing and a miss. 0-2 now to Tyler Goeddel.
So how come you didn't ask me for the scouting report on this guy?
Tells me you'd have a little bit more information. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and he got it. 3 pitches and a strikeout for Francisco Rodriguez. So you take a look at some of the moves the Tigers made in the offseason, players that are added and subtracted, and Francisco Rodriguez being one of those guys that came over from Milwaukee. Recognize some of those names. We talked about, well, seen Justin Upton in action. We've talked about Jordan Zimmerman as well. So 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Ground ball to the right side by Jackson. Nice play right there by Aviles, and he got him. Awkward throw, and it looked kind of painful, but a nice play by Aviles nonetheless down there at second base.
Well, we have seen some very nice plays. He catches that behind him. Misbobbles the transfer from glove to hand, but still gets up and makes a strong throw. Right there, the little bobble. Can of corn.
Can of corn. So Brian Jackson rounds out the second base. That'll bring up Darnell Sweeney with 2 outs. Efrod making light work of the Phils so far with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch to Darnell Sweeney is fouled out of play. It's on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-2. We saw Chris Leroux warming up for the Phils. The pitcher in the 9th inning for the Phillies. That one's line drive into center field. Bernard going back on it, and he's going to make the catch right in front of the warning track. So a nice inning for Francisco Rodriguez. Phils go down 1-2-3. So we head to the 9th. Phils holding on to that 1-run lead.
This
on Bright House Field. Ninth inning as the hour turns to just about 4 o'clock. The Phils with a 5-4 lead over the Tigers here in the top of the ninth. And new pitcher for the Phils is Chris LaRue, appearing in his 5th game this spring. Came over from the Colorado Rockies last season. He's part of the AAA Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Pitched well down there. 1.04 ERA. The Iron Pigs home games last year. So he'll look to finish this one up as the Phils hold a 5-4 lead over the Tigers. We have seen a lot of different bullpen pieces today. He would be number 9, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And John Mayberry Jr. will be the first to face LaRue.
Not very often you see 14 pitchers used in the game.
No.
Hopefully we don't see it again.
Well, not anytime soon.
Unless it's on our side where they're using a lot of pitchers.
That's right.
Means we're scoring tons of runs.
First pitch to Mayberry is over for a strike. Mayberry lined out, back to the mound, a hot shot back to the mound. his last at bat. Swing. 1-1 to John Mayberry Jr.
Outfielders playing no doubles. Playing a little step deeper than usual.
Phillies trying to lock up their 15th win of the spring. Sails outside. It's 2-1. Two-one pitch outside for a ball. It's 3-1. I'm not sure you would have been able to convince most people that 15 wins in the spring was a possibility for the Phils.
I would agree.
3-1 pitch. Foul ball. It's 3-2. As Matt Klentak said yesterday to us when he was on the broadcast with us, he realizes, yes, it's spring training. Winning's always better than losing.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's a lot of truth to that.
It starts with if you're 7-15, just the negativity of what goes around camp and what they need to do and being picked to be last or whatever it's going to be. Now there's something positive coming out of it.
That's right. And that one is a little bit low and outside for a ball. So a leadoff walk to John Mayberry. It's not exactly how LaRue wanted to start. But there you see the standings, the best winning percentage in the Grapefruit League. Now, the Blue Jays are expected to be a very good team. The Nationals are expected to be a good team. The Astros are. I think the Tigers will have a bounce-back season. Then you see the Phillies right in the mix. So, you never know. You just never know. Back to the box, and the throw down to second by LaRue is in time to get the lead runner. No chance for the double play. So 1 out. LaRue is able to take that. 1-6 goes to put out. And what we do know is that it all starts on opening day on Comcast Sportsnet at 4 o'clock. Against the Cincinnati Reds in Cincinnati. You'll be there, right, man?
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
I knew that. Ben Davis will be there. Tom McCarthy, of course, will be there.
And
Be there
yourself.
as well. Yeah. Jeremy Hellickson will be there. He'll be the opening day starter for the Phils. Who else will be there?
Versus?
Against the Cincinnati Reds.
No, but who's going to start? I know that. I hope Cincinnati's there.
Yeah, I think they'll probably show up.
Have they announced their starting guy yet?
I don't know the answer to that question. Big swing and a miss. Holiday swings through that. Our esteemed producer Jeff Halleckman just said in my ear that he has not seen it. He has not seen it.
No one has seen it.
No one. I see.
Maybe Cincinnati's waiting for Jeff to tell who
Perhaps.
should start the game.
A lot of times that's the way it works. Another quick throw over. According to the website for the Cincinnati Reds, their manager, line drive past Burris and into left field. Their manager, Brian Price, not ready to name an opening day starter, so they have not named it yet. Meanwhile, base hit for Holiday, and the Tigers have runners at first and second with one out. We'll bring up Winton Bernard.
Lopez gonna catch.
Rashad.
There's some action down in the Phillies bullpen. Pinch runner down there. Brown checks in at first base. Shot Brown. First pitch to Bernard is low for a ball. It's 1-0. Brewer steps off.
Get yourself a nice little 6-4-3 double play.
All right. Bernard swings through that. Now it is 1-2 to Winton Bernard. Check that. 1-1 to Bernard. Yeah. Nice game-ending double play. One pitch. Fouled out on a play. Rainier Roybal is one of the arms warming up for the Phillies. Yaxel Rios is the other. This is blue ball. Runners at first and second, one out. Top of the ninth. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball. It's lightly tapped to shortstop. Burris charges it, makes a quick throw, and he got him in time. Real nice play by Emmanuel Burris. Bang, bang play down there at first base, and that's the second out of the inning. Bernard got down the line in a hurry. Burris, no hesitation, good strong throw. And that was close.
You're right. He got out of that batter's box. That big chopper Burris, though. How quick that ball was in his glove out of it. Strong throw. And just by a hair. Nice play.
Nice play indeed. So now there are two outs. Runners at second and third, but all LaRue has to do is see himself through Gustavo Nunez. And put this one in the win column for the Phils. That ball is low in the dirt. It's 1-0. Ben Verlander will wait on deck for the Tigers.
I think it's safe to say with that last play, regular season, you might have saw the red baseball thrown out for a challenge.
Yeah, I think you might be right about that. No pitch. Swing and a miss. No replay challenge in spring training. Not enough of the games are televised, so they can't do it.
They could just call us.
They could.
We'd tell them.
He was out.
Oh, big time. By step.
1-1 pitch. Back to the box and back up the middle for a base hit. 2 runs are going to score. And it's a 2-out knock for Gustavo Nunez. And the Tigers jump on top 6-5. Well, they were flirting with it, and Nunez able to deliver, base hit right back up the middle.
Big 2-out knock. Alfredo stayed up in the zone, just out of the reach of Chris's glove. The big 2 RBI knock.
So that'll bring up Ben Verlander. And he is first pitch swinging. He fouls that one past the third base bag. So the Phils will get a chance to bat in the bottom of the ninth now trailing 6-5 in this one. And then the foul ball skips into the crowd. It's 0-2 to Ben Verlander. Another throw over. Nunez is back.
You could put Louis, you put Valdez in third for defense. Okay.
The 2 pitch, swing and a miss, and he got him. So LaRue gets the strikeout to end the inning, but not before the Tigers are able to get 2, and they take the lead, so they force the bottom of the ninth. The Phillies will bat in the bottom of the ninth, trailing by 1. Five as we head to the bottom of the ninth here at Bright House Field in Clearwater. Hey, coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, it is Nissan presenting Sportsnet Central. Full recap of this game, Phillies and Tigers. You got news on the Flyers and their playoff standings, Villanova's tournament update, and the latest on the Sixers and Eagles as well. No more, know a lot, know it all. It's Nissan presents Sportsnet Central at 6 o'clock tonight on Comcast Sportsnet. Hopefully they'll be talking about a Phils win, but in order to do that, the Phils are going to need to put a couple across here in the bottom of the ninth. They trail at 6-5. Logan Kensing is new pitcher for the Tigers. You see his numbers with the Mariners a year ago. 2-1. 19 appearances with them. Emmanuel Burris will be the first to face Kensing. It'll be Burris and then Blanco. And then we'll see. Never know at this time of the game. I'm not going to speculate. The first pitch swinging is Burris. He fouls that one. Broke his bat in the process, so we'll get a new one.
I'm hoping it's Herrera.
I would think it's Herrera. Just haven't seen him yet, so I was gonna.
There he is, right there.
There he is.
Putting the batting gloves on.
Oh, you see him? So it'll be Blanco and Herrera. So it's 0-1 to Emmanuel Burris. Ground ball to second base. Wheeler's up with it. 1 out. "4-3 goes to put out, and that's the first out for Kensing and the Tigers here in the bottom of the 9th, and that'll bring up Andres Blanco. Blanco was part of that string of singles in the 7th inning that gave the Phils the lead. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1 to Andres Blanco. Double Herrera has moved into the on-deck circle.
I always like watching Blanco after he takes a big swing and he misses. He always points at his eyes, or he does something with his hand gesturing. Tell him to make sure he sees the ball and stay through it a little longer instead of pulling off. He always has a really good conversation with himself.
He's a good conversationalist.
Yes, he is. I had a long chat with him yesterday.
He's down in the count 0-2 right now. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one's in the dirt.
Behind you. Behind you, Phil. That's the guy comes around. Logan.
Well, he continues to talk. He's a lot of fun to be around. For sure. For sure.
All right. Here comes out number 2.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Foul.
I like the fact that he tells himself to, and that's one thing you want to step out. And a lot of hitters will sit there and they'll shake their head and swing. No, he's right back out there. He's telling himself, "Hey, stay through it. Get your hands to the zone." Now does it over? No, but at least you remind yourself of what your strength is. Yeah.
He's also not afraid to let his teammates know different things as well, which is a big reason why they love having him in that clubhouse. The pitch, ground ball, 2 outs. So that'll bring Double Herrera with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. The ball real well. Yeah, 1 game later, it's 2 for 4.
It's amazing when a guy throws a little harder, how it gets your timing back.
Swings through that one, though. It's 0-2 now to a Double Herrera.
At least he had his timing down for the first 4 bats, not necessarily that pitch.
Fooled on that. So it's 0-2 now to Herrera. The Tiger fans that are here at Bright House Field are on their feet. Logan Kensing on the hill for the Tigers. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and he got him. And they say he caught that, so that is the end of the ball game. Odubel Herrera goes down swinging, and Kensing does a nice job here in the ninth. Gets a couple of ground ball outs and a strikeout, and that will do it for the ball game. So the Tigers scored 2 in the top of the ninth, and they are able to come from behind and win this game 6-5 here in Clearwater. 3 hours and 10 minutes was the time of the game, and the Tigers pick up their 15th win of the spring. So they win it by 1. We'll be back to put a wrap on it in just a minute.
There's a lot to see at Nissan now.